Steph, in a game like this, at a point in the second half when it's, I guess I'll go to the last 5 minutes or so, when it gets real crucial and it's close, do you yourself mentally, then, do you put yourself in a position to maybe ask yourself to do a little more than what you normally would?
I would say no. I think when the last 5 minutes roll around, I'm pretty sure, tied before the last media. So I think what we were doing was efficient enough, and it really comes down to a few breakdown plays on the defensive end in the last 4 minutes of the game, and it obviously really hurt us, and we had to foul, and that's never fun. So that's what put us down by 10 at the end.
How tough are they to defend? Because they'll throw some of the big players out there to fire it up from way out, and actually, they were only 5 for 12, but they can put it up from out there. Is that a little tougher to defend?
I thought we did a pretty good job of defending in the lane line, ball line, and off screens and stuff. We did a good job off that. 3-point line, I think we defended pretty decent. I mean, 12 shots from the 3-point line, that's not awful, but the blaring statistic to me is the free throws, 31 for 34. That's hard to compete with, and when we shot 13 free throws and only made 8 of them, I mean, that's the blaring stat that has to be fixed by the next game.
Do you feel like you played them closer than 10 points?
I mean, yeah, just because at the end, of course, the fouling, that kind of puts a cushion on the end of the game for some teams. I thought we played decent for 36 minutes. That's the bottom line. The 4 minutes killed us, and that's what happened. That's where the loss comes from.
Considering that you were playing at home, and you had a couple times you had comfortable leads, and with a chance to blow it out a little bit, do you feel like you let them hang around a little bit too much?
Do you want this one?
Go ahead, Lindsay.
Yeah, I mean, there was multiple times I feel like that we had a solid lead, and we either let them come back into it. I mean, letting Burke hit 3 straight threes doesn't really help our case. We had a 7-point lead, and at that point we need to bury them. They're, the defending Big Sky champs and one of the toughest teams in our league, and to have an opportunity to be up by 7 on your home court, you need to bury a team, and they should not have a chance to come back, and we didn't do that tonight.
Is it fair to say that you, and I'm not trying to single out certain players who are playing really well or not really well, do you feel like you played one of your stronger games tonight?
I mean, it honestly doesn't matter if we don't win. All I do is try to, put my team in position to win, and if we don't win, then I'm not doing my job as a point guard, leading the team. At the end of the game, it's my job to take over and, run the offense and get everyone motivated and playing at the end. And if we don't win the game, then that's a reflection, I think, of my leadership and me being out there. And so if we don't win, then I don't feel good about the game.
Is there a little level of frustration at this point?
I mean,
I know you're 8-8 overall, but 2 and 3 in the Big Sky, and I'm going to assume that both of you feel like you're better than those numbers. So, or do you try to fight back, not to get frustrated, even at this point in the season?
I mean, losing is never fun. It's always the frustration part. This is where, after games is the most frustrating part when you lose, obviously. Honestly, we will peak at the right time. I truly believe that when March rolls around, this team will be good. And we've been talking about, we do have some young players that are developing and still learning about the game and at the collegiate level. And, we get frustrated now, but I know in March we're going to be ready to go. And a loss really shows us, I know there's quotes out there about losing shows you so much more than maybe a win does. So this kind of stuff really shows us what we need to work on. Of course, there's an aspect of you have to have a good enough record to get into the conference tournament, and I know we're going to do that, and we're going to make a run, and I am not frustrated with this team. I think we're going to build, and we're going to work together, and it's going to be okay.
Lindsay, you feel like this team's on the cusp of making one of those runs of winning 4 or 5 in a row and getting yourself over the hump?
Oh, yeah. The support between each player for each other during practice in the locker room is there. We just need to put it out on the court. It's been a challenge, and Coach E's done a great job of pushing us and exposing us to our weaknesses that makes us want to respond, because we're all competitive athletes and we want to respond. So I think the frustration and all that will lead to some type of, run But I think this team is fully capable of it. We got to take care of these home games, though, because playing on the road is tough. Every Big Sky game is going to be within 10 points. I think this game within 1 most of the game. So we just have to be ready for those and be able to handle the close games.
North Dakota seemed to play with a little more confidence in the last couple minutes. Do you think it was a change in the Bears or a change in their team that gave them that confidence?
There were just some breakdowns on our defensive end that, I mean, a girl's going to shoot a wide open 3 and she's going to knock it down. When that happens to us, we're pretty fired up about it. And, you know, when someone hits a 3 in your face, it's kind of defeating to you and your teammates. And so, I mean, the last 4 minutes is what did us in, and that's something we got to fix.
Yeah, I mean, this team, they've won. They're a very winning program, and so they know when they're put, with their backs against the wall, they're going to respond just because they're so experienced. I mean, every player on that team, is a solid competitor, and they're not going to back down at all, especially at the end of a game.
How do you think you can bring the team a little more consistency and turn those shorter streaks of strength into more long-term control of the court?
I think we just have to take those 4 minutes at a time. Every media, we need to win. And if 1 4-minute streak doesn't go well, that's not the end of the game. But if one goes right, then that's still not the end of the game. And just being able to respond every 4 minutes and just continue to push each other and be there for each other is the way that we'll, get through those.
Mm-hmm. And kind of a maturity thing as well. I know when the last 4 minutes rolls around, I myself have to kind of step back a little bit and put myself in the mindset, and I'm a senior, so we have some freshmen playing and stuff, and that's just a maturity thing. It'll get there.
It comes with experience.
Yep.
Great. Thanks, girls.
Thank you.